Hi, everybody. Welcome back again to our informal show with no title, no name, no program, no agenda, no nothing. Just us coming here and scaring everybody. I'm joking. Hi, Kyle.
Hey Timmy, how's it going?
I'm going all right. I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Fabulous, thanks.
Awesome. So if you're back here, then you already know we are talking SharePoint security, just security in general, cybersecurity, trying to stay on top of things. And so the reason I called you back here is obviously, as we all know, the 14th of July happened, and there are certain versions of SharePoint that are no longer supported. And as quickly as that happened, four more SharePoint CVEs were under active exploitation. So I wanted us to just chat about that. So yeah, le- what's happening, Kyle? What's going on?
What's happening? Well, I think we all kind of saw it coming as AI started ramping up and all our threat actors started using it more intensely. Yeah, just all of the little bugs that went under the radar for so long have been coming to the surface. It's just unfortunate that the bugs that we're finding, because they're sort of part of the subsystems that have been in place in these systems since like 2016, and they've always just been using the same subsystems in the different versions. It's just unfortunate that these bugs that they just happen to affect all versions of SharePoint from 2016. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
lots
so
of fun.
it's not exclusive to 2016 and 2019.
No, even the latest SharePoint subscription edition.
Oh, nobody's safe. Okay, I see. So, what's basically happening is it's not something new being introduced. It's something that's always being there, being exposed, essentially.
Great.
Okay. So this week, is it CISA or do we say CISA? Confirmed
Influences.
CISA. Ah, okay. First name basis, nickname basis and stuff. So this week, CISA confirmed that there were four separate SharePoint vulnerabilities that are being actively exploited, and not just one. So we've covered, single CVEs in past episodes. Why does it matter this time that it's four and all are confirmed to be exploited at once? Why is this key information?
So, the fun thing about CVEs is sometimes they're not really a big deal, or at least they go under the radar, even though they were actually discovered a little while ago. So if you have a look at the numberings on the CVEs, they are all from this year, but a couple of them were discovered a couple months back. Um, so the nice thing is we don't always just pick these kinds of things up when the bad actor comes in and starts targeting them. Thankfully, we also have the amazing blue team people who actively go and do this kind of research to find the bugs and disclose that before the bad actors can actually get involved and start attacking things. But yeah, to have four of them in 1 year, again, we now have so much extra ability to go through code faster and try different combinations of bugs uh, in such a inhuman way, you know, um, that it's just easier now to find all of these bugs. So thankfully, the same sort of massive compute is in use when people are putting software together. So we don't seem to be coming across situations like what's happened in the past where new updates have actually introduced vulnerabilities. We haven't actually seen that in quite a while. Now we're just seeing a lot of old modules that form part of the software that we're using that have been used for a while. They're not having slightly insecure pieces found in them. But as we've seen with these ones, they're more than just slightly insecure. That's the reason why CISA's added them to the list, is because they actually are being actively exploited in the wild.
So two of these, here come these numbers, CVE 2025-56164 and CVE 2025-58644, both allow remote code execution, but they need very different levels of access to pull off. So can you break that down for us? What does that look like, or what does that mean for somebody who has no clue what I've just read?
Sure, no problem. Yeah, so the first one that was discovered were the 56164. That was the earlier one. It is still a missing authentication for a critical function. But from what I understand, you still need to have at least some low-level access to the system itself in order to use it. So it's still a big concern. But the next one, this is what the one that they're calling the nightmare scenario. It's completely unauthenticated, no prior access needed whatsoever. You needn't have been to the website ever before. As long as you know where it is and you know the SharePoint, you can send it these evil packets over the network, and it'll allow you to remotely execute code. So it's got a 9.8 rating, which is almost as high as it can go.
Oh yeah, it's like point two,
0.2 away.
Yeah. Okay, and that would be then the CV 2026-58644. So
That's right.
yeah, the second one. Okay, cool. And then we have the CVE. Oh, okay. So these are the same CVs. Sorry, the numbers are just dancing in front of my face. So now I'm not sure if it's a number I've mentioned or it's a different number.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, they need simpler names for real, like nicknames or something. Okay, so looking at these two CVEs that you've just spoken about, would you say that the second one, the 58644, is more dangerous?
Yeah,
I
100%.
suppose, as you said, obviously the score alone would give you indication that it is dangerous. Okay. So let's look at the pattern. This is the fourth SharePoint CVE that we flagged as actively exploited since April. I think we started having these conversations, about 2-3 months ago. And is this a coincidence, or is SharePoint becoming a bigger target? Or would you say AI is exploiting, obviously, not just SharePoint? I think you have mentioned it in a previous conversation that it's not just a SharePoint issue, it's across the board of any platform. This is what's happening with the prevalence of AI. Is prevalence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you've got it spot on the money there. AI is definitely really surfacing a lot of these issues across the board. And I think SharePoint has also started becoming a larger platform, and therefore a lot more effort has gone into attacking it. I think since Microsoft moved their sort of server model across to the subscription edition, a lot of people have started using that because there's less chance of now, okay, there's going to be another SharePoint version coming out and we're going to need to re-migrate our entire environment. Well, now it's just we're getting updates and you just keep updating your environment with the latest subscription edition. So I think, yeah, a lot more companies have started using it also because it's just more feature rich, it's closer to your um, Office 365, SharePoint Online, which small caveat I have to add. All of these CVEs, they don't affect SharePoint Online. So you don't have to worry if you're online. This is only for SharePoint on-premise. But yeah, back to it. There's definitely a big pattern with Microsoft in general seems to be under a high attack, I would say. You want to make sure all of your Microsoft products are kept up to date regularly.
All right. Yeah, I think that, yeah, that's definitely now, I guess, a billboard or a poster for, hey, maybe you should consider SharePoint Online if possible.
Yeah.
And so CISA says that, the attackers behind these flaws have been stealing IIS, ne? IIS machine keys and deploying malware to stay persistent. So what does that mean in plain English? Why should that worry people more than the initial breach itself?
Um, yeah, so when they're able to get the IS machine keys, it basically says that they're able to host their malware within the same service that serves your SharePoint environment to all of your users.
Mm,
And therefore, it's now this trusted place where code can live that gets served to your users. But it's also now infected and they can send out links to all of your users to get additional information out of them, to get more passwords,
mm,
possibly getting access to other credentials that might let them log into your cloud environment. So
mm.
completely separate systems that aren't related to SharePoint. So yeah, it's a big worry.
Okay. All right. So you did mention it slightly, that people on online don't really have to worry. My mouse is stuck. Oh, there we go. Don't really have to worry about this I'm gonna say this issue. Yeah, but it is an issue, I mean.
Yeah.
But let's talk about who's affected and what they can do. So which SharePoint deployments are actually exposed here. So on-prem online subscription edition.
So yeah, SharePoint Online, you're safe. SharePoint Online has already been patched to make sure that it definitely won't be affected by this. This is specifically for your SharePoint on-premise. So yeah, anyone who is hosting their own server with SharePoint on it, if it is newer than 2013, then these bugs affect it.
Mm.
Unfortunately, if it's older than 2016, you probably got bigger worries, considering the past exploits that were out back in 2013 and Microsoft stopped updating those and patching those vulnerabilities. So we're going to end up in the same boat soon with 2016 and 2019. I'm sure we'll start finding more bugs down the line that affect those versions of SharePoint Server specifically, and then Microsoft are not going to patch those.
Yeah. Okay. So you did mention, the different versions of SharePoint 2016, 2019, and even 2013. So this lands the same week, or these attacks landed the same week as the SharePoint Server 2016 and 2019 official loss of support. So for someone who's still running these versions. What would you say is an honest answer about this? Do they patch? Do they migrate?
Mm.
All online people now? Like, what is the honest response or advice to people running these versions? Versions. Versions. What's the honest answer from you? Is it to patch, migrate, or both, or panic? Like, the honest answer.
No, so we're actually in a very lucky situation. So Microsoft have already patched these vulnerabilities in the last update that they've released, security update that they released for 2019 and 2016. So on the 14th of July, they released a security update that fixes these vulnerabilities. Um, don't take me at my word, but I have a feeling Microsoft may still push out one or two more security updates for these older platforms, even though they're not they're no longer supported. So I don't think we'll be seeing any cumulative updates for other fixes. But I think in terms of security, I think Microsoft's smart enough to know that if it's a big enough problem, they're going to push out security fixes anyway. So, yeah, my honest opinion, please patch straight away. The patch is available in the latest 14th of July security updates. But once you patched, please look at upgrading.
Awesome. So everybody watching, Kyle is not predicting the future. He was giving his opinion.
Yes.
So don't call him a Microsoft false prophet when it doesn't come true that there are more, patches or updates or whatever. Um, it's just a hunch.
Yeah.
But we'll take it, we'll lean on his hunch as the expert. So if a client called you today and asked and said, Kyle, am I exposed right now? What's the first thing you tell them to check?
That's a very good question. So if I think the first thing you should do is log on to the SharePoint servers and go and check what version they are currently on. There is if you go to your Windows updates, you'll see there's usually like a KB reference for all your security updates that you've installed. And if you are on subscription edition, it's 5002873. If you're on SharePoint 2019, it's 5002874. And if you're on SharePoint 2016, it's 5002880. There is a Microsoft guide around the CVE. If you go to that update guide, search update guide, and then you put in the CVE, there is a Microsoft page that shows you the different SharePoint versions and which patch has fixed that. So that's your immediate way to see whether or not you are secure against it or not, or if you are currently vulnerable to it.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, if you zoom out for us, what's one thing every business running on-prem SharePoint should do before the end of this week? What's one action that people can take in response or proactively even?
Yeah, no, I would definitely say check your patches is the first thing you should do, and make sure you get updated to the latest. But also make sure you're not unnecessarily broadcasting, I think is a big one. So if your environment doesn't need the SharePoint to be accessed by anyone, anywhere across the planet. You don't want it to be like on the internet as a web page that anyone can access. Um, then I'll put it behind a VPN. Um, I know most of our clients, they keep their SharePoint either locally or accessible behind a VPN. I think, yeah, some people we have seen in the past where people have put their SharePoint completely online. So it didn't have to go through the effort of having VPNs and all of that. But I just feel like it's not safe enough anymore. You now have a bigger attack surface area. So I know you asked for one thing, but I gave you two.
The more the merrier. All right. Thanks, Kyle. I think that's it. I think those are all my questions that I had. Any parting shots?
Hey, parting shots. Um, yeah, I think just keep your eyes open. Keep checking out here for the latest, and yeah, at least once a week. Make sure you're checking what's going on because things are starting to move quite quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that one, even though I'm not security analyst, but I agreed with checking in quite frequently. And if you're struggling, you can definitely always contact GC Consult. We are ready and available, as you have heard, our expert. Or which way would you be sitting by the time I edit this? Our expert. I'll point both sides. Our expert is available to help you with all your security needs, whether it's penetration testing, vulnerability assessments. Kyle is your guy. I promise you, Kyle is your guy. I will insert a testimonial or some feedback that affirms that Kyle really is your guy.
So I've dealt with a few of their technicians in the past, but currently I've been, for the last 2 years, I think it was, I've been dealing with Kyle. Man, he's extremely impressive. One of the things I like about Kyle is that when he has some tough situations dealing with end users, especially our finance users, he has a calm head on. He manages to somehow soothe them down and get them feeling a lot more like their problem shall be resolved soon.
But otherwise, thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. And yeah, hopefully we'll be here talking about lighter things with Kyle, like his birds or something.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love to do some lighter things. I don't want to be the doom and gloom guy.
But you also help us to stay in check, so we appreciate it, Kyle. But thank you so much for this chat.
Thanks
Bye.
to me. Bye.